Can you believe it? It's March already. The year is marching on. So let's get our plans together. What we had planned to accomplish this year, because it will be December 31st in just a few more days. Amen. Time marches on. Today we're going to go into a new unit. We're going to be talking about humility. We're going to be talking about the love of Jesus Christ. And we're going to talk about servanthood. How to be a servant. A lot of times we are more interested in being up front instead of being in the back, where we can be of more service. Amen. So today we turn to the gospel according to Luke. And we go to the 14th chapter. And Luke opens with a party. A dinner party. And now Pastor Walter likes to eat, amen, as you can tell. And a dinner party would interest me, depending on the menu. But when you're invited, you have little to do with the menu. Every now and then, somebody asks you, what would you like to eat? Now, I've always been told, just say anything, amen. But if I had my choice, it'd be limited to a few items. But you ought to feel real good that someone thought enough of you to invite you. So based on that, here's Jesus going to a house of the Pharisees. These individuals didn't care for the philosophy, the religion, the thinking of Jesus. In fact, they were in competition with him. But Jesus, being a polite, gentle person, went on to the house. Across the table, or across the area where he was reclining at table, was a gentleman who was obviously sick. He looked sick. His eyes looked sick. He was a sick man by every determination of the word ill. Some of the individuals who were in the home with Jesus that night, some of the ones who were involved in being subversive, set Jesus up. Whispered to his disciples, would Jesus heal somebody on the Sabbath? There were a lot of laws concerning what you could and couldn't do on the Sabbath. They couldn't even cook the food they were eating on the Sabbath. It had to be a pre-planned meal. So, Jesus did something that I want to recommend to me. And you can follow along with him if you want to. Jesus skipped the silliness. He didn't answer the foolishness, at least not right then. He went to the more weightier matter and healed the person that was sick and sent them on their way. It was a setup. But a lot of times when people of darkness set you up, they set you up for a blessing. The man came at the bidding of the Pharisees to make an example out of Jesus, but he left healed. He wasn't concerned with the politics of the moment. He wasn't concerned with the legalism of that setting. He came sick and went home well, and he was rejoicing. Here's the point. Jesus didn't answer them right away. He did respond, but he didn't answer them right away. He went into the parable, which is the meat of our lesson, starting at verse 7. And he said, what if? Jesus, excellent storyteller. What if one of you, enterprising agricultural businessmen, had a John Deere tractor, maybe a Ford or one of those brands that are on the high end. I saw a tractor on television not long ago that had a air-conditioned cab. Oh, it was something. You could ride along and set your temperature. I saw one that had a GPS. You could plot your field, and all you had to do is sit there, and it would take you down each row and back. Now, if you had something that was that elaborate and that expensive and it fell over, would you wait till another time and let it in the ditch and let the transmission fluid and the oil run out of it and the water And when you went to get it the next day, it would be in such a state of disrepair to you may have lost the whole ability of the machine to operate properly. Now, you wouldn't do that. They didn't either. They had fine oxen and fine bulls. They fed them well, and they expected a productive work to come from them. Based on that reality, if one of their oxen or bulls would get into a ditch, a well, they would call for help. And the law permitted them to go and retrieve that valuable agricultural implement, that live animal, that beast of burden, from that hole and save its life. Jesus was making a comparative example. You value certain things above human life. Isn't it that way today? A lot of things that we value more than human life. We value going to church on Sunday morning in our finery more than we value going underneath the bridge and feeding someone who's hungry. I want to give an example of something that may be helpful. And as a class, you might want to do this. You know, often I have planned my own birthday party. I love birthdays. I have 12 a year. Every time the 12th comes around, it's my birthday. But what if we make some arrangements with a nursing home, a care facility, or a place where people are less fortunate than we are in terms of their health or their finances, and we go over there and we have a birthday party and let them be our guests. Now check with the doctors, nurses, and nutritionists as to what you can bring. They may want to fix it for you. You may get some sugar-free ice cream or some gluten-free cake or muffins. I don't know. Something that's not going to make anybody sick. Or it may be just the fellowship and the music and the fun. Go have your birthday with some balloons, colorful, some lively music, and invite everybody to come. Oh, you had the best birthday you ever had in your life. The food would be immaterial, but the birthday would just be wonderful. Jesus is indicating an act of humility would be to invite someone who's not expecting you to invite them, to bless someone who's not expecting you to bless them, to be that humble servant. Okay, class, in your time together today, I want you to discuss how, as you as an individual, madam, brother, teacher, leader, as a class, how can you bless someone with an act of humility? Let me give you the best example I know about humility. It's shining the light on somebody else. Amen. Sometimes we love to be in the light. I have put lights to focus on this video. But what if we turn that flashlight of pride around and illuminate someone else's life with the light of Jesus Christ? Wouldn't that be wonderful? Y'all have a great time in Sunday school today. Discuss ways that you can bless somebody else, ways that you can do some ordinary things like a birthday party in your neighborhood where someone is not able or expecting to be blessed by you or your crew. God bless you. Hey, give me some comments and some suggestions on how you work that out. Pastor loves you. Now, I'm going to try to move my finger to the side. Last week, that finger went everywhere. Oh, there you go again. Come back, come back, come back.